Test, test. Test. Eric, can you hear this? Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Welcome to Temple Sinai. Before we begin our prayer services this evening, may I please remind you to shut off all of your electronic devices, and I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Thank you. I'm Lynn Weinstein, co-president of our congregation, and it's a thrill to see you here and see your smiling eyes, because I'm not yet seeing your smiling faces. Soon enough, as somebody reminded me earlier this evening. Our Friday night worship service this evening will be led by our student cantor, Daniel Geigerman. Rabbi Aviva is home with her family tonight. Her son, Rafi, had some minor surgery, and she's exactly where she needs to be at home tonight. He is doing fine, and he will be fully recovered in the blink of a couple of eyes, I'm sure. So let's all wish Rafi a full recovery, and we will do that during the Mishaberach prayers later in the service. We also welcome our wonderful musician pianist, Dr. David McFarland. And Betty Adams is here on the bima with me as well, and she'll be speaking with you later. Also here is a member of our Board of Trustees, Jane Brown, and Cantor Dan will introduce her in a moment. This evening's service is going to lift our spirits as Shabbat always does. Let's just put everything about the week that dissatisfied us, let's put it behind us and enjoy Shabbat tonight and tomorrow. Thank you all very much, and let's all turn around to the cameras and wave to the people that are watching us from home tonight. The cameras are all in the back. Thank you all.
Yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai dai dai. This is another nigun that the tune will come back later on in the service. Yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai dai yai dai 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 die, 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 die. Yai, die, die, yai, die, die, yai, die, die, die. Yai, die, 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 die. Yai, die, yai, die, 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 yai, die, yai, die, 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 yai, die. Ya die, 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 yai, die, yai, die, die, die. Yai, die, yai, die, 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 yai, die, yai, die, 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 die. Yai, die, yai, die, die, die. Yai, die, yai, die, die, die. Shabbat Shalom. It's wonderful to see all of you here today, all of you here to help pray together, to help sing together, to be there for each other. And it is my honor to invite Jane Brown up to light our beautiful Shabbat candles on page 120 and 121.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindled light. Baruch u'Baruch Shemo, Baruch u'Baruch Shemo, Baruch u'Baruch Shemo. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kadeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, v'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed art thou. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Jane. We now turn to page 122 and 123 as we bless the wine and the day with the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei b'ri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uv'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemahaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikraye kodesh Zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha Be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat Amen. L'chaim. As we've welcomed the light into our service and we've welcomed the sweetness of the wine into our service, so do we welcome the angels into our presence with Shalom Alechem on page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seidchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now that we are ready with the light, with the sweetness, with the angels, with all of us here, we now welcome the presence of God into our midst with Lecha Dodi on page 138. And as is our congregational minhag, we will be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And during the final verse, we will rise to greet the Sabbath bride, and we will remain standing after the Lecha Dodi as we continue straight into our main service with the Baruch Hu. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Yishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad L'shem ol tiferet v'litchila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha Ki mekor habracha Merosh v'kedem nesucha So ma'aseh b'mashavat hila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Hitoreri Kiva Oret Kumi Ori Uri Uri Shir Daberi Yevod Adonai Alech Nigla Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela. We now continue as we turn to page 146. As we remain standing for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai yai dai dai dai, yai dai yai dai yai dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai yai dai 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 dai, yai dai yai dai dai dai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai. You may be seated. We continue on page 148 at the bottom of the page in the English together. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. We continue on the next page with Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shochbeinu v'kumeinu Nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu Uvahem nekei yomam v'layla Baruch Baruch ata Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. We now continue with the Shema on page 152. Please rise if you are able. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. We continue in the English on page 155. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem emet. We turn the page and continue responsively at the bottom of 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, in a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. We continue with the English on page 159. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no war, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. And we continue with the Hashkivenu, the song asking God to spread God's wings of peace as a canopy over us. Cause us, O Lord our God, to lie down each night in peace, and to awaken each morning with renewed life and strength. Spread over us the tabernacle of thy peace. Help us to order our lives by your counsel, and lead us in the paths of righteousness. Be thou a shield about us, protecting us from hate and war, from pestilence and sorrow. Curb thou also within us the inclination to do evil, and shelter us beneath the shadows of thy wings. Guard our going out and our coming in unto life and peace, from this time forth and forevermore. Amen. As we prepare for the Amidah, the standing portion of our service, we turn to page 165, and we read in the middle of the page. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. If you are able, we stand now for the tefillah, the Amidah. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot ve'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rab le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim ve'chesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, melech me'mit u'mechaye, u'matmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch ata Adonai, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We continue with silent prayer. You may be seated when you are ready. Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'avad tikabel Tamir avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha El Karov Lechol Koreav B'nei Elabadecha V'chonenu Shefach Ruchacha Aleinu V'techezena Einenu Beshuvecha leTzion berachamim Baruch atah thoughts now turn to those who need a little extra prayer from us, those who need healing of the body, of the soul, and of the spirit. The Misha Berach can be found on page 371. I have with me in one of these pages. Thought I did. Do you have it? Never mind, I found it. We have the list here of those that the congregation is thinking of at this time. We also keep in mind Rabbi Aviva's son for a speedy recovery. As I gesture around the congregation, if you would like to add a name out loud, please feel free to do so. And those of you joining with us virtually, if you would like to say the names of those you are thinking of in this moment, please do so now. With those names and the names of all of those who we are thinking of at this time, we now sing a version of the Misha Berach, the original version from the Torah, the words El Na Refana La, that Moses speaks to God. Please, God, help her, please heal her, as he speaks about his sister Miriam. El na refana la, el na refana la, el na refana la, refuah shlema. El na refana la, el na refana la, el na refana la, refuah shlema. Life is a circle, love is the song, peace is the story we've yearned for so long. When we surrender to God in all things, the circle is completed. Our hearts are blessed with wings. El na refana la, el na refana la, el na refana la, refuah shlema. El na refana la, el na refana la, el na refana la, refuah shlema. In lieu of a Devar Torah this evening, I thought we would do another Devar Tefillah, another teaching about our service. How much does this water weigh? Anybody can answer. How much does this water weigh? 2 ounces. 6 ounces. Anybody else? Well, so it's anywhere between 2 to 8 ounces, just the water. Now, what if I held my hand here for an hour? How much does it weigh? What if I held it for the entire day? How much does it weigh? Yeah, forgetting about evaporation. Thank you so much. But you're getting the idea here. Imagine having to hold a weight out like this the entire day. Your arm would be numb. It would be paralyzed. In fact, you couldn't do it. Now imagine that this glass isn't filled with water. Imagine it is filled with all of your stress, all of your worries, all of your things that you fear. Imagine carrying that around you all day, holding it all day, and not putting the glass down, because that is an option. And in fact, during our service, we're given a time to put down our glass and to lay all of our burdens out. The silent prayer portion of our service gives us a chance to develop our own tefillah, our own prayer, our own personal conversation with God. Now, where did this silent prayer, where did it start from? Well, originally, the Amidah was said silently while everybody stood facing the ark, and then it was repeated by the Chazan. It was done twice. Well, the Reform movement sort of stepped away from that, and we did the tefillah, the Amidah portion, together. And we then added that bit of silence towards the end, right around what is called Tefillat Halev, the prayer of the heart, the Yehiyu L'Ratzon and the Osei Shalom. So, did you put down your glass tonight? When you stepped in, when you greeted your friends, did you say, oh, you know what, I think I'll leave my glass at home this evening? Sometimes that may be a good thing, sometimes that may be a bad thing. Sometimes we should bring our glass with us to temple so that we can put it down and unload it in front of God. It is our chance to let go and to be in the presence of God. So whatever you decide to do with your silent prayer, remember, at that specific time, God, your friends, all of us, give each of you permission to put down your glass, to rest for a while, and to unload your burdens. Shabbat Shalom.
Hello. Shabbat Shalom. I'm Betty Adams, co-president of Temple Sinai, along with Lynn Weinstein. Thank you tonight, Cantor Dan and Dr. David McFarland, for a beautiful service. And we would like to thank the following sponsors after I take that off. Tonight's Erev Shabbat service is sponsored by Susan and Michael Rappaport in memory of their beloved daughter, Lori Lynn Rappaport. Marcia Weber in memory of her beloved mother, Evelyn Weber. Andrea Lambert and Jerry Schneider in memory of Jack Schneider. Betty and Eric Adams in memory of Eric's beloved father, Joseph Q. Adams. The following donations to the community food pantries are sponsored by Robert Resnick in memory of Mark Resnick, Marcia Weber in memory of her beloved mother, Evelyn Weber, Betty and Eric Adams in memory of Eric's beloved father, Joseph Q. Adams, Harriet Meyer in honor of her daughter, Deborah's new position as Associate Counsel for New York City Health and Hospitals. Congratulations, that's a big job. Our Saturday, February 19th Shabbat Torah study is sponsored by Susan and Michael Rappaport in memory of their beloved daughter, Lori Lynn Rappaport, Jean Stein Pomerantz in memory of Bertha Bernstein, Andrea Lambert and Jerry Schneider in memory of Jack Schneider, Betty and Eric Adams in memory of Eric's beloved father, Joseph Q. Adams, and Dr. Daniel Dvorkin in honor of the Torah scholars. And a few announcements. I understand that the Spanish River Concert Series has actually begun, and it was fabulous. And the good news is that you can still get tickets. You can still go to the series. You can also, there is a new virtual way to do it that you can talk to Sherry Friedman or Harvey Fields if you're in the sanctuary tonight, or if you're out there in internet land, you can call 561-276-6161, extension 114, and one of them will call you back and explain how. It's another great way. You can see the entire series, even though the first concert has already gone. It's recorded, and it's going to be wonderful, so don't miss that. Also, this Sunday, Elliot Kleinberg is discussing the history of Florida, and Jane Brown is in the sanctuary tonight. If you still want to sign up, you can come in person and pay at the door this coming Sunday, or you can, you can get Zoom, but I think it's too late to get the Zoom link if you haven't already signed up. Is that correct, Jane? Okay. Well, 561-276-6161, extension 204, if you want to call tonight and pay. It's Shabbat, but we'll make an allowance. Sunday at 3 o'clock. Thank you for asking. 3 o'clock, right here in the building or on Zoom. And let's not forget Saturday morning Shabbat services at 10 a.m., and Zoom Torah study at 12:30. And Cantor Dan, did you want to talk a little bit about Purim? Shabbat Shalom from me, and I'm turning it over to Cantor Dan.
Thank you, Betty. So the Purim Spiel is coming up soon on Saturday, March 12th. It looks so far like our community health has been improving, so let us hope either way the Purim players will be here in person, and either we will all be here in person or it'll be live streamed. I will be sending out an email to the entire congregation early next week, most likely Monday. If you would like to join the Purim players as part of the chorus and you are not a part of the choir, you are welcome to do so. We encourage you to join us for this one wonderful Spielen on the Roof version of the Purim Spiel. We now turn to page 586 as we conclude our service with the Aleinu and the Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. Please rise if you are able. It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzod, velo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama. Helkeinu kahem vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, vanachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. You may be seated.
Eric, are podium mics on? Eric, are
Yes.
podium mics on?
Yeah.
Okay. We now come to the part of our service where we pause to remember our loved ones. Let's all begin by turning to page number 593 in our Siddur. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled. It burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades. Its substance is consumed. It is no more. Please join me. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance, and our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more, and are no more seen, yet we do not despair. For we are more than a memory, slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal circle of darkness and death, of light and fire. At this time of year, we honor the lives of many friends and family of Temple Sinai whose plaques are kindled on our sanctuary walls. This week, we commemorate the yahrzeits of Joseph Quincy Adams, Rose Berendt, Bertha Chodash Bernstein, Herman Blum, Helen Dodds, Martin Esrick, Sadie Folkman, Irving Goldstein, Jeanette Harding, Bernice Jernove, Dr. Henry Karp, Michael Kaskell, Seymour Levine, Claire Migdal, Caroline Netter, Frederick F. Quinn, Robert Dale Resnick, Marvin Rose, Isidore B. Rothstein, Edward Ruzicka, Philip Sandler, Bessie Saunders, Marie Rose Schwartz, Susan Alice Smith, Thelma Spiegel Eisenberg, Gerald Stone, Samuel N. Strom, and Evelyn Weber. We also commemorate the lives of other friends and family of Temple Sinai, including Hyman Bernstein, Samuel J. Best, George Brown, Edward Bush, Seymour Epstein, Diane Ertl, David Geller, Elizabeth Helfand, Karen Kirshner, William Koch, Linda Krennick, Dorothy Lent, James S. Lerman, Martha M. Lerman, Emma Mandel, Franklin Osterman, Florence Pitchneck, Celia Rafelson, Louis Rafelson, Laurie Rappaport, Mark Resnick, Jack Schneider, Pamela Siegel, Ann Topol, and Eva Weinberger. Included this evening are the memories of those who've passed in recent weeks, and we are still in the Shloshim period. These are included in the following names: Maury Rollader, Shirley Geschwind, Bonnie Ogden, Phyllis Duberstein, Milton Christopoulos, and Anita Gilden. As I gesture around our sanctuary, please feel comfortable standing and reciting a name of a loved one whose yahrzeit you are observing at this time. If you're able to, would you please join me in rising and remembering in prayer the names of loved ones and all who perished in the Holocaust. Page number 598 in your Siddur. And together we recite, Yitzgadal v'yitzgadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Ma divra hirute v'yamlich malchute v'hayopon uv'yamechon uv'kayet beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen.
Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'omei amaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabar v'yitrar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei t'kudisha
B'richu.
le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbahata v'nehemata damiran v'yalma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'hayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
V'imru.
Amen.
Amen. Please be seated.
We will end tonight's service with, before we do the motzi,
Yeah.
with the words of Adon Olam on page 625. I don't know what. Sorry. Oh, you're in a different key. Oh, whatever key you want to do it. Go ahead. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra le'nasa v'chefso kol azai melech shemo nikra. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra le'nasa v'chefso kol azai melech shemo nikra. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra le'nasa v'chefso kol azai melech shemo nikra. Ve'acharei hichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hove ve'hu yeh betzifara.
Thank you, Cantor Dan. And folks, as we leave this evening, please stay, talk to friends and neighbors outside on the front patio, and enjoy a little bit of cookies for an oneg as we look ahead to really gathering together. But before we do that, and no, I did not bake it today, I didn't have time, but let's join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom.
B'tei avon.
Shabbat Shalom.